Hello everyone. Very good evening. Welcome to all aboard. My name is Varsha Ma'am, and in this particular session, we are going to discuss previous year question related to answer writing. Like we will discuss how we can do answer writing for your RBI Grade B examination for the subject management. Okay. So the aspirants who are there in the session, please let me know that my voice is clearly audible to everyone and the screen is clearly visible. Yeah. How you all are doing? How's your preparations going on? See, yeah, whenever we talk about the questions of the phase two examination for the RBI Grade B, okay, so you have to face the questions from the subjects like finance and management, okay, combinedly. So there will be the questions that will be of 15 marks or 10 marks, okay. So in this particular session, I'll take one question that you have to frame for 15 marks and one question that you have to frame for 10 marks. Okay, you will be capable of knowing how you can maintain the word limit. The main concern the most of the students are asking related to the management subject is like, ma'am, we are not able to like meet the word limit. Like how we can word so that the word limit will be met or word limit will be completed in framing answers for the management subject. Okay. Very good evening, Chini. Very good evening, Chetan Ranjan. How you all are? How's the preparations going on? So let's start our discussions for now. Okay, management subject is equally important, so you should not think about skipping it. Yeah. So here we go. Aspirants, you should have the application of Olive Board so that you will get the PDF of the YouTube classes, and there are so many free resources available on the application of Olive Board that will help you to prepare for your RBI Grade B examination in a better manner. Okay, and these are the RBI related courses available on the application of Olive Board. Okay, take a wise decision, choose a course that will help you to cover your phase one, phase two, and the interview as well, so that your preparation. See, the level of preparation that you are in, that shows your confidence. If you are aware about something, that means you will emerge out as a more confident individual. Okay, so it is very important to know about the subject and other things and to know about the static portion, because management is all about the static, all about the theories, all about the concept. And with the help of these concepts, you can use the examples in framing your answers. Okay, so let's start our discussion. So today's first question that you have to write for 15 marks, and this question was asked in your year 2021 of your RBI Grade B examination. So the question is about what is corporate governance. Okay, so firstly you have to write the definition. So whenever we talk about the descriptive type answers, firstly you have to write the introduction. You majorly let the format that we have to follow is one, firstly we have to write the introduction, then we have to write the body part, okay, and then at the end we have to write the conclusion. All right, so introduction here, as it is a direct question, it's a direct question, there's no concept, there's no like strategies or other important things, so this definition will act as your introduction. And the weightage for the three portions of your descriptive answer is 10% is given to the introduction, 10% is given to the conclusion, and 80% is given to the body part. All right. So here, what is the way to write the answer? Firstly, you need to write a definition for corporate governance and why it is needed that all the organizations are following the corporate governance protocol now. See, so that all the things, whatever the work that an organization is doing, there will be transparency in it, and they will be accountable for the work they are doing. Okay, if the system appears transparent to you, you will feel enthusiasm. You will feel like working there. If you observe that the system is following some biasness, you will not work there with your complete efficiency or your energy. Okay, so that's how the corporate governance, the system of corporate governance is needed in all the organization. Okay, so that's how you take care about the question. Like first thing after reading the complete question, first thing that you have to do after reading the complete question, prepare a mind map or write the points in rough form. Okay, firstly you have to frame the answer. Okay, answer framing should be done, and then you have to write the exact answer, right? Because whenever we read something, there are so many thoughts that will come to our mind in a millisecond. And definitely, when you start typing, you will forget that million thoughts that you are having. So, first thing that you have to do is to write the thoughts in a specific portion so that you can use these thoughts to frame your complete answer. All right. So, why corporate governance is needed? Then you have to write a good answer for this question. Like you have to mention the reasons, you have to mention the reason why we are adopting corporate governance in our all the organizations in as by observing the current situation, and what are the key principles of corporate governance. So as I told you in brief, like we will talk about the transparency, we'll talk about the responsibility, we'll talk about the accountability in detail. Okay, so this is a basic thing about the question. Now let's move forward, let's talk about it in detail, right? Let's continue further. So first thing, the definition, then the body and the conclusion. I had told you about these three. Now let's talk about, so as a question is of 15 marks. So all the different parts will carry different marks. So firstly, we are writing the definition of corporate governance. Okay, so on an average, it will carry out 3 marks. Okay, so here you have to write a very good definition of corporate governance because it is asked. You are not mentioning it to frame our introduction. It is already asked by the examiner. That's why your definition should be very effective. Okay. So corporate governance refers to there is a system of rules, practices, and the process by which a company is directed and controlled. Okay, whenever we talk about any organization, that organization is directed and controlled by certain rules and regulations. If there are no rules and regulation, for example, we are in a school or a college and we visit the place at a regular basis, and there is a specific time, like we have to be at our school building before 9 a.m. There are certain rules that we have to follow. Like if we are provided with certain assignments, we have to submit the assignments before the deadline. If they will not follow any rules and regulations, you will not do any work. Similarly, in an organization, also the rules and regulations are needed so that all the work will be performed on time. There will be punctuality. Okay. So it involves balancing the interest of a company's many stakeholders, because in an organization, there's not the shareholders who are offering, who are investing in the organization. There are different shareholders, stakeholders who are the part of an organization. Stakeholders include the employers, the consumers, the shareholders, the investors, the management related individuals, customers, suppliers, financiers, government, and the community. Okay, you are managing individuals from the different organizations or the different backgrounds. So you need a set of rules and regulations so that they will come forward to work on a specific project. Okay. Essentially, corporate governance provide a framework for attaining a company's objectives, encompassing practically every sphere of management, from action plans and internal controls to performance measurements and corporate disclosure. Okay, very good evening, Karan. Very good evening to you. So that's how corporate governance is needed. So in the definition of corporate governance, you can use like you can mention the different individuals, okay, whom you are concerning. Now the another question is why it is important, why it is needed to follow the corporate governance. So first part is of 3 marks, the second part is of 5 marks, and now the remaining marks are, so there are 7 marks remaining. So for the 7 marks, you will have to mention the key principles of corporate governance. Okay. So under it, like why it is important. So if there will be corporate governance, there will be accountability. Like the individual who are associated with the system, they will accountable for the work that is given to them. Ensures that management is accountable to the board and the board to the shareholders. Okay, management will be accountable, like they will take care of like what is going on. They will be accountable to the board and board is accountable to the shareholders. So there should be a specific direction. There should be a scalar chain. Okay. Transparency promotes open and accurate disclosure of financial and operational information, like all of the information that everyone, like who are the part of the management team, who are the board of directors, who are working at the middle level of management, the information that they seek or that they are needed to make the process more smoothly, like they will get the exact information. They will get the accurate information. There should not be any fabrications. Okay. Investor confidence. So when the data that is related with the organization and it will be published in any specific article form, and this data is accurate, that is not having any tampering, obviously the investor will have confidence that we are investing in a good organization. Okay, like we will gain a good market value. Okay, so it will enhances the trust and the confidence of investors, which can lead to increased investment and share value. Okay, risk management. Yeah, if all the things are working, all the things that are going on in an organization, they are following a specific pattern, they are following a specific processes, they are following a specific rules. So whenever any risk or any unfortunate situation will occur, it will be easy to identify it because there is no forging. It will be easy to identify it, it will be easy to monitor it and to mitigate the risk more effectively. Like you can find a solution for the problem more effectively because all the things are very transparent. Okay, compliance, ensure adherence to laws, regulations, and ethical standards. Okay, there will be a compliance. Okay, there will be certain laws, regulations, and ethical standards, and everyone is following them. So when everyone is following the standards, it would be easy for you to find out the one who is not doing their job well. Like you will easily find the situations or the problems that are posed. Okay, sustainability, because you are working on a long-term project, because you had decided, you had formulated some laws, rules, and regulations that are related for your long-term projects. Okay, so promotes long-term value creation and sustainable growth. Inadequate governance can lead. So if the corporate governance that is following in the organization is inadequate, it is not following the protocol, what will happen? Corporate scandals will occur, financial crisis will occur, loss of investor trust, because once the investors will lose trust in you, they will not invest in you. For example, in our daily life also we observe that, like your friend has borrowed some money from you and he had promised you that he will return your money in the next 3 months, but he has not returned it like for the 6 month or the 7 month. What will happen? You will lose trust in him. You will not trust him, like you will forget the friendship. Okay, so similarly, if there is an organization which is not following the corporate governance, good corporate governance, what will happen? The investor will lose trust in that organization, and the organization will have to face the issues related to the investment and other financial crisis as well. Okay, and in some cases, company will collapse. Yeah, your company is facing the financial crisis and you are not finding any way to deal with the situation. What will happen? The company will collapse. Okay, so that's why corporate governance is needed. Okay, so is it clear to everyone who are in the class? Please thumbs up that the things are clear in your mind now. Now let's talk about the key principles. So this part we are framing for the next 7 marks, as a question is of 15 marks. So that's why I divided the question in the format like 3 plus 5 plus 7. Okay, so this is a way to frame a good answer for the question. Is it clear to everyone? Yeah. So aspirants who are there in the class, please let me know that the things are clear to you. Then we will move forward. And one more important thing, please like the session and share it among your friends as well. Okay. So the key principles. So obviously, for example, you are studying for an exam and you are not following the plan. And what will happen? One day you will rely, one day you will be blank, like from where to do, what to do. But if you have a planner in your hand, like this is your timetable, this is your schedule, you have to study this subject today, you have to continue this subject tomorrow. So even though after a break you have to continue, you will have something, like you will not feel disconnected. Similarly, the corporate, if any organization is following a good corporate governance, good governance, so there should be some key principles on which it will rely. Okay, one is the transparency, that there should be accurate and timely disclosure of financial and operational performance to stakeholder. Like we have the reports now, like we have the RBI circular recently released. So we know about these circulars and the report, like we have the union budget, we have the economic survey. So these are similarly in an organization also there's some auditing and monitoring done on timely basis. Okay, so that are the means to show the transparency that this organization is working on a transparent basis. Accountability, whenever any issue occur, like the higher organizations, they take the accountability of the issues, okay, and they try to resolve it. Clear roles and responsibilities of the board, management, and shareholders. So whenever there will be any issue, you come forward to take the responsibility of the issue. Okay. Another one is responsibility. So they must ensure compliance with laws and ethical standards that in the best interest of the company and its stakeholders. Okay. Next is a fairness. Okay, the individuals who are the part of the organization, they will be having the fair treatment. Okay, there will be protection of right of all shareholders. All the shareholders who are related with an organization, their rights should be protected, including minority and foreign shareholders. Independence. Presence of independent non-executive director. So in the theory part, I told you that the board of directors, some members are independent and they are non-executive directors, some are executive directors. Okay, so there should be third party and there should be some independent non-executive directors on the board. And what will they ensure? Objectivity. And they will prevent conflicts of interest because they will act as like they are acting as a third party who is not with the system all the time. Okay, so both the parties will show their like problems or show their issues, share their issues with the this non-executive director, and they will take the decision, and they will try to prevent the conflicts of the interest, and they will ensure the objectivity of the system. Okay, stakeholder interest, recognizing the rights of other stakeholders and as well as protecting the rights of other stakeholders. It is also a key principle of corporate governance. Board effectiveness. The board should have the appropriate skills. Okay, like the different board members, they should have the appropriate skills, knowledge, and experience to provide strategy, guidance, and monitor performance effectively. Like how the different individuals are working. Okay, their performance should be evaluated effectively. Okay. Next is about the conclusion. So this is about the question. Now we are moving on the conclusion. Like what way, after writing the definition of the corporate governance, why it is needed, and what are the key principles on which the corporate governance is relied upon, now it's a turn to write a good conclusion which will satisfy all the questions. Like you have to frame a conclusion of 2-3 lines. Okay. So corporate governance is a cornerstone. It is very important. Okay, it is very important if you want to maintain a responsible business conduct. It ensures that companies can run ethically because there will be a code of conduct, ethical code of conduct. The company will run transparently and in a way that align with the long-term interest of all stakeholders. So by adhering to sound governance principles, companies can enhance their reputations, financial performance, and sustainability. Okay, so this is a way to write a good answer for the question. Now we are moving on the next question. So this is about the behavior reinforcement. Okay, is there anyone who can tell me the definition of reinforcement? Because we had discussed about the reinforcement in our theory classes. So aspirants, that's why I'm requesting you, if you are preparing for your RBI Grade B examination or PFRD examination. PFRD examination will not have descriptive answers. Okay, let me clear one thing. So your management subject, your all subject, the basic knowledge should be like you should have the basic knowledge of the subjects. Okay, so these classes will help you to get the basic knowledge of the subjects, right? Now the another important question is, what is behavioral reinforcement? So before that you should know about what is reinforcement, and then you have to explain what is positive reinforcement and what is negative reinforcement. And as this question is asked for 10 marks, so what is the way, like how the marks will be distributed? Behavior reinforcement, suppose I'm giving this portion a total 3 marks for behavior reinforcement, and then positive and negative reinforcement. You have to mention about the positive reinforcement, then negative reinforcement, then the key references between them, and then have to write the conclusion. Okay. So students, as some of you were asking me a question like, ma'am, in the management portion, we are not able to meet the word limit. So you need to follow a different way to write the answer of management. Like in this question, there are only two questions, positive reinforcement and the negative reinforcement. So you should not leave the question by writing the definitions of the positive and the negative reinforcement. You have to mention an extra thing. And what is it? Firstly, you have to write the behavioral reinforcement. Then you have to write about the positive reinforcement. Huh. Yes, suppressing the very good Chetan Ranjan, very good. Yeah, appreciating or avoiding the good behavior and suppressing the bad behavior. Or managing the bad behavior. Because if we will suppress the bad behavior, it will emerge out as a blunder. Okay, so there's a need to manage it. Okay. Then we'll talk about the negative reinforcement. And what is the key difference between these two? Then we will write a good conclusion for our question. Okay, so this is a way you have to figure answer. So what is it? It's a concept from behavioral psychologically, particularly from B.F. Skinner's theory of operant conditioning. I told you about the theory of operant conditioning that was given by B.F. Skinner. So you can use if you are aware about it. So what comes under it? It's a process of encouraging or strengthening a particular behavior by using rewards or consequences. Okay, like someone is doing some positive work and you are encouraging them to do in such a direction. You are strengthening a specific behavior by giving them rewards for that, or by like letting them know about the consequences that they have to. Yeah, yes, mitigating can be a better choice, of course. Yeah, you can use a mitigating one. Yeah, it can be. Huh? Reinforcement increases the likelihood that the behavior will occur again in the future. Okay, so reinforcement basically it follows a specific protocol that the positive behavior, if some individuals are working and showing some positive result, so that behavior to be occurred frequently in the future. And there are two types of reinforcement. One is a positive reinforcement and the second is a negative reinforcement. Okay, like both the ways the frequency of the event will increase, but the way these two enforcements will let the work to occur, this is different. Other than the positive and the negative reinforcement, we have the punishment and the extension also. But as the question is asking about the positive and the negative reinforcement only, so we will discuss about these two only here. Okay, so firstly, let's talk about the positive reinforcement. So as I told you, in the positive reinforcement, you should not end up by writing the definition only. You should write a good example. You should write an explanation if you are aware about it. Positive reinforcement, like adding a pleasant stimuli after a behavior. Okay, some like for example, you asked your kid at home to clean his room. He will not clean, but if you will start doing the same work with him or her, he will definitely clean the room. And after doing it, if you will reward him or give him a pleasant stimuli or something that is the kid needed, okay, he will be encouraged to repeat the same behavior. Okay, similarly, for example, in your schools also, when you do anything extraordinary, your teacher appreciate you by drawing a star in your notebook or by appreciating you in front of all the kids. Okay, so these are the types of positive reinforcement. Okay, now you should not, the stick and the carrot approach will not work at all. Okay, stick and the carrot. Stick and the carrot is for the negative reinforcement. We are talking about the positive reinforcement. Okay, like positive reinforcement involves adding a pleasant stimuli after a behavior to increase the likelihood of that behavior occurring again. Teacher gives the student praise or a sticker for completing homework, and employer receives a bonus for meeting their sales target. Individual receives something desirable, praise, rewards as a consequence of their action, which motivates them. So it will motivate them to do the work. Okay, so that is a positive reinforcement. Okay, another is the negative reinforcement. So what is it? Like removing an unpleasant stimuli after a behavior to increase the likelihood of that behavior occurring again. Okay, see, students, why students do the work? because they have a fear that if they will not do the work, their teacher will scold them. So they want to like protect themselves from scolding or getting humiliation, or being humiliated in front of all the kids. That's why they're doing their work. Okay. Similarly, we take the aspirin or analgesics or the painkillers because we are having headache. So to remove the pain of our head, we are having the medicines. This is a negative reinforcement. So in this case, the behavior is reinforced because it helps the individual escape or avoid something unpleasant. If there's something unpleasant going on and you want to avoid it, that's why you are uh, doing some work. Okay, so this is negative reinforcement. So this is a key difference between these two. Like the stimuli here adds a pleasant stimuli, and what you are doing here, you are following a specific practice because you want to remove an unpleasant stimuli. So here it is scolding or humiliation, and here is it bonus or rewards. Okay. Next is outcome. So what will be the outcome of positive reinforcement? It will strengthen your behavior. Like you will follow the same behavior repeatedly because you are getting the appreciation for the work. And similarly, here also, like when you will do your homework, your teacher will not humiliate you, your teacher will not scold you. So that thing also will strengthen your behavior, that you will do the same thing repeatedly. Okay, another is goals. So it will encourage repetition by reward, and it will encourage repetition by relief or escape because you are relieved from something. You are doing something, your teacher is not scolding you, so you are relieved. You are taking medicine and now your pain is reduced, so you are relieved. So this is a way to write a good answer for the question. Okay. Another is the conclusion. Let's talk about the conclusion here. So what comes in the conclusion? Are you getting this point? So yeah, in the conclusion, you have to summarize the thing that we had done. Okay. So both positive and negative reinforcement are crucial. They are all important for shaping the behavior. While positive reinforcement adds a reward to encourage behavior, negative reinforcement removes a negative condition to achieve the same goal. Understanding these concepts help in fields like education, parenting, and behavior therapies to encourage desirable actions effectively, so that the desirable actions will occur. Okay, these two type of concepts we are using in like different ways, not in the organizations only, at our homes also, in our schools also, so that a desirable action will be encouraged. Okay, so you can write a good conclusion like that. Okay. See, this is all about today's session. As we had discussed the questions that were asked in your 2021 examination, there are some questions still we have to discuss. So we'll continue in the next class. Okay. So make sure you guys are available for the classes at 6 p.m. regularly. Because today we had a late session due to some issues. But like Pratik sir have to take the class. That's why we had a delay session today. Okay, so this is your application. You can download the application, register yourself there, and that's how you can start your preparations with us. And these are the RBI Grade B batches available for your critical preparations of the application of Oliver. So aspirants, you can take the admission in these one of these batches, and you can do your preparations with us. Okay. All the theory classes, all the MCQs, all the descriptive answer writing, all these things are available on the application of Oliver for better preparations. Okay. So here I am ending a session for today, for now, and you can also connect with me on my Telegram, that is Varsha Dhiman. Okay, and you can ask me your doubts there also. Bye bye. And